Hi everyone, my name is Jade. I own and operate Calver & Associates Canadian Immigration Services. We're a full-service immigration firm located in the heart of Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. As of date, so we're in April 2020, the Canadian government has imposed certain restrictions due to the COVID-19 virus. And as such, we're receiving lots of questions from our clients and other people asking about if these restrictions are going to affect their case or a future application for them. So today we're kind of going through an FAQ in terms of these restrictions and answering your most asked questions. The first question that lots of us are getting that lots of those in immigration are getting calls about is, can I return to Canada with my spouse? So yes, so if your spouse doesn't have status, like isn't a permanent resident or Canadian, and they would like to travel with you, they're actually exempt from the travel restriction, so they're going to be able to travel with you to Canada. When you're boarding the flight to Canada, so you're going to have proof that you are married, so I would suggest a marriage certificate or common law documentation to show that you've been living together for at least 1 year so that you're able to board the plane and travel to Canada with that person. Second question is, can I give my fingerprints for temporary residency or permanent residency during the COVID-19 pandemic? So the answer to this is, as of today, no. All Service Canada centres are closed at the moment to people who are looking to provide biometrics. Similar in the United States, most of their ASC centres are closed, and worldwide, depending where you are at the moment, most of the centres are closed as well. So again, we won't see many temporary applications or permanent residency applications finalized until the biometric centres open again, because without that, Immigration Canada is not actually able to approve immigration applications. Another question that we're getting lots of calls about is, I'm in Canada as a temporary resident. I can't fly home, or I don't want to fly home because of health issues. What can I do to extend my status? So this really hasn't changed from pre-pandemic. So if you are in Canada as a student or a worker and you're eligible to extend your status, so again, as per normal, as a student you have to be continuing your studies. As a worker, you need to have a continuing job offer, often supported by an LMIA. Then you can apply online to support your extension, and then Immigration Canada will eventually approve your extension. Same thing if you're here as a visitor and you're unable to travel at the moment. If you've been here for almost your 6-month stay, then you're going to have to apply to extend your stay. Similarly, if you're here as a student or a worker and you're not eligible to extend your status in those categories, you're going to have to apply to change your status to a visitor before your current status expires. Again, this is all done online at the moment, and until the biometric centres reopen, you won't actually have a decision on the application until you've given your biometrics. But as long as you apply before your current status expires, you actually are in implied status, meaning that you're still legally in the country. The last question that we're getting is, how are international students being affected by COVID-19? So again, I talked about this a little in another video, but essentially as long as you had an approved study permit before March 18th, 2020, then you can return to Canada if need be. In my opinion, if you have a study permit in hand, you'll be able to travel, or if you have an approval letter from before March 18th, 2020, they'll also let you travel. Again, if you are in Canada, summer 2020 is arriving and you're thinking about leaving for the summer, we're really advising our clients to stay in Canada for the summer, because that way if you're wanting to start classes back in September 2020, you'll be able to do so. So that's everything for today. I hope that I was able to answer your questions pertaining to COVID-19 implications on Immigration Canada applications. If you have any more questions, you can reach out to us. Our website is calverimmigrationservices.com.